Hello everyone, Tesaks here. Welcome to my devlog, where I will be talking about what happened and changed during the last week on my game dev journey. So, this week is gonna be more straightforward. I basically started by collecting feedback for puzzle pieces, and later on I applied what I learned to the current build. So the not released yet version actually have some little tweaks to the UI, which should make it, hopefully, a little bit better. And yes, I know, just another UI tweaks, right? And that's basically everything regarding puzzle pieces. So, what's next on the list? Yes, Walker of Aldenor. I basically did nothing. Well, it's not correct. I did some testing and I asked few people to help me out with that as well. Besides testing, what I just described was basically done during one day. So, what the hell was I doing during the rest of the week? Well, Project Matcher. I completed all combat animations, created new handler to take care of the sprite changing during animations, so they can be synchronized nicely and create the illusion of working objects. So in theory, every foe can now swing different types of melee weapons, cast combat and healing spells from all magic weapons, and draw and shoot from all ranged weapons. And I know, it's not that impressive. But hear me out, because ranged weapons are probably the most interesting challenge, at least from my perspective, that I faced last week, as it's the only weapon type that actually requires me to dynamically change sprites of the weapon during the animations. First I thought that this will be easy, as the native animator allows you to change sprites easily. Well, it didn't work out, because I can't access the weapon at the time, and even if I could, the animation would end up being quote-unquote hardwired. So I wouldn't have the freedom of being able to just change skins or maybe add multiple similar weapons of the same time in the future. Well, luckily the native animator offers ability to insert script triggers on any particular frame during the whole animation. So all I had to do was create a function that could take care of that. And that's exactly what I did. And since I learned how to do such thing, I also created another function to take care of the effects for magic. So that's something new that I didn't even thought about previously. And now it's part of the game. All is missing is of course make the effects. So, since I had all the animation set up, it was the perfect opportunity to finally implement sandbox mode. So I could test combat animations, visuals, etc. without messing with my level data. Luckily, I already had basic level handler and corresponding menu UI implemented, so all I had to do was to tell the game that the level -136 is sandbox level, which was easy. And after that, I had to create the sandbox mode itself. And so, some scripting was required. And since I was already messing with the enemy spawner, I decided to rework it a little bit and make it more modular, so I could spawn enemies whenever I wanted during any round or level without interfering with the loaded levels. Also, this allows me to test everything on actual mobile device, right? Okay. This one is new to me. Anyway, this should be easy to fix, and after that I will be able to test it on actual physical mobile device, which is cool. To be honest, this on its own took me whole day, and in the evening all that was missing was slapping some basic UI on it, making sure that it works and calling it a day. So I did exactly that, and because I hate myself, I decided that sandbox level in fact will be part of the final game. So I decided to make the whole UI thing hideable, which was needlessly complicated at first, but then I realized that I was just overcomplicating stuff, and all I had to do was literally use the native functions for alignment, coordinations, and movement and call it a day. So I did that, and it actually worked! Huh. I ran out of the game footage again. And what is that? Boring talking coming? Okay, it seems like it's time for another dockcam action. So, since the dockcam is in place, it's time to continue. And at this point we are getting into the weekend territory. And I was playing my own game in Unity, testing random stuff. When I realized that it's cool and all, that I finished all the animations, added sandbox mode. But it's not helpful at all, since I actually don't have any enemies that can be spawned with ranged or magic weapons. Well, technically I could just change it mid-run, for one specific enemy. But where's the fun in that? So I opened my trusty pixel edit and quickly, well, as long as half a day is considered quickly, created two new armor sets for Heavy Armored Bandit and Archer Bandit. After that, I decided to prepare everything so two new foes could be implemented. But then I realized that a huge part of my code was not commented correctly, if at all, and it wasn't even optimized, so more enemies could be added. Well, you can bet that I never actually tried to make modular, easy to modify enemies that could be loaded, added, or created just by writing single config file before. So narrowing that down, cleaning the code, making sure that everything is commented accordingly took me the rest of the day. And when I decided that it's finally time to call it a day and go to sleep, I realized that I am still missing the crucial part of the whole process. Yes, and that was the goal, to actually implement both of the enemies. Well, now it should be easy, and since I have this part of the game nicely set up, it should be easy to implement new enemies in the future as well. But since it was Saturday evening and Sunday is reserved for family and household chores, plus necessary maintenance, and Monday is usually reserved for video editing and shopping, yes, even I have to shop for my own groceries. I haven't finished it yet. Which means that now it's one of the goals for this week. Also, if you like what I am doing, I would like to ask you to share this video or any of my games with your friends, family, or just a random stranger. And since I mentioned groceries and shopping, one last thing before I end this video. If you haven't tried Puzzle Pieces or Walker of Aldenor yet, I will leave links to both games in the description. Just getting them, playing them, and maybe occasionally watching an ad or buying puzzle pieces on PC is the best way to support me, allowing me to actually buy the groceries in the first place. And if you would like to go even further, you can share all my work, including this channel, with literally everyone. I will also include link to my Facebook page, Instagram and Discord server so you can join me here on my game dev journey. Well, that's it for today, and I will see you next time.